In this week's Signal Emitted, Microsoft is supporting Godot, Godot Fest, Steam news, a new version is coming, the 2025 showreel, and of course we have our Creator Spotlight, Game of the Week and Tip of the Week. Welcome to Signal Emitted, your weekly news video for Godot related news. I'm Voylin, this is Baby, and Microsoft is teaching Godot devs C#. Microsoft. Many people dislike them and many people hate them. But 3 weeks ago they did something kind of great, which passed by my radar completely. Here we see a GitHub repo from Microsoft with tutorials to use Godot with C#. They go over several topics such as installation, engine overview, scripting, debugging, all the way until interacting with the user interface from C#. So basically a whole C# project that you'll be making, a whole game that you'll be making from start to finish with C# and Godot. This guide will teach you how to create a controllable character, build levels with scenes and nodes, add interactive objects, and even design a simple crafting UI. It is probably the best starting point for people who want to use Godot with C#. Over here on the GitHub page we have the project files, but they also have a YouTube video series, a YouTube playlist of each chapter. More free learning resources are always welcome, and maybe this could help out quite a few people who already know C# but want to get into Godot and don't want to use GDE script for whatever reason. And up to the Creator Spotlight, I have a channel for you which you might know already. The official Godot YouTube channel. The reason why I want to mention this channel is for a couple of reasons. First of all, the Godot Showreel 2025 got published featuring around 37 games and projects. And by the way, a quick mention to the creator who edited this year's showreel, Quabble. He got featured in a past Signal Emitted episode, I think week 31. So yeah, again, a quick shout out to him. Check out his channel as well. He makes great videos. But yeah, the Godot Showreel is a yearly video showing off some of the projects made with Godot. So each year creators can submit their projects and games and such. And then voting happens. This year it was together with like monthly donators to the Godot engine. They vote and the winners get selected to be in the video. Give the showreel a watch. There will be a link in the description. And also, did you know that the official Godot YouTube channel does weekly live streams? I have quickly mentioned it before in one of the previous episodes, but every week you can learn more about the behind the scenes of the engine, followed up by a Q&A section in which you can ask questions directly through the chat. This live stream series is called Godot Tomorrow and it happens every week except for this week since Godot Fest is going on. And talking about Godot Fest, there is now a new YouTube channel called Godot Fest on which you can actually see all the talks which are happening at Godot Fest this week. There are already some talks published on the YouTube channel, which is great for people who wanted to listen to these talks, like wanted to see these talks, but couldn't manage to go there in person. I personally really like that they put all these talks of both GodotCon and Godot Fest on YouTube for all the people also to watch. So for people who could not go for whatever reason, they don't miss out too much on the talks part. So yeah, be certain to give the Godot Fest channel a try and see if there are any topics being talked about that pique your interest. And over to some different news. Steam announced some new and interesting hardware. A Steam machine, a Steam controller and Steam Frame, which is basically a VR headset. But before we go more into that, in the announcement video itself, if you go to around like 3 minutes 9 seconds, we can actually see Godot being used on the Steam machine. So Godot is kind of featured in the Steam announcement video. But yeah, back to the hardware part because that's also quite interesting. The Steam Frame and the Steam machine will be using Linux. Well, more specifically Steam OS, which is based on Arch Linux. But yeah, hopefully this will make developers consider creating a specific Linux port instead of just relying on Proton. But also, the Steam machine is basically the size of kind of like a full desktop power supply, like a little bit taller, but it's kind of mind-blowing to have that kind of performance, at least if what they say is true, to have that kind of performance inside of a Steam machine. I don't know what the pricing will be, but if the pricing is reasonable, I can see many people adopting this kind of a thing for their TV, by example. But what I'm especially interested in is the Steam controller, because it's basically the Steam Deck, but without a screen. It's basically only the controlling parts. Let me know. What do you think of this? What do you think of the Steam controller, the Steam machine? Do you think it will help Godot devs in any way? Like, I'm kind of wondering how many of you will create special profiles or create games that are like with the Steam controller in mind or the Steam Frame in mind. Let us know in the comments below. But then let's go back to some Godot news, Godot specific news, because version 3.7 is going into its first dev release. And yes, I said 3. 3.7 Godot version 3. We're at 4, but for some reason 3.7 is still being updated, which is good. And yeah, use that contributing power for Godot 4 maybe. But anyway, the core of the engine got improved to increase performance. 3D physics interpolation has been rewritten together with the 4.5 release to fix some long-standing bugs. There are now blob shadows, mutable audio drivers, and some bug fixes and backports from Godot version 4. In total, 44 contributors have been working on this whole version 3.7. And I don't think there is a release schedule of when 3.7 is supposed to come out, be released in full version, as most efforts are still going to the Godot 4.6 release right now. But it's still great that Godot version 3 users will still have some kind of like new stuff to look forward to. And then for Game of the Week, I present to you Wimmel Academy. Wimmel Academy is a cozy magic school simulation game in which you live a day-to-day life of a magic school student. Manage your time and balance between studying magic, part-time jobs and befriending classmates. This game got released last month by the developer Impossible Home and has been seeing very positive reviews. And if you like cozy, slow-paced, time-managing games, then be certain to give this game a try. And then it's already time for tip of the week, and I have another special tip for you all this week, which could possibly help you when you're troubleshooting your games. Whenever you print an instance of a class, you get something like node, hashtag, and then a number behind it. But did you know that you can customize this? By adding a function called _to_string to your class and making that return a specific string, you will see that same string when you are printing the instance of that class. This could be great for troubleshooting or just to make your debug prints make more sense in general or be more usable. This was this week's tip. It's a small one, but I personally kind of like this tip. It's something that I did not know how to do. I learned it this week. And that's the end of the episode. And yeah, sorry about my co-host. He's a little bit noisy. As you might have noticed, I'm in a different studio. It's basically the old room. So yeah, since this week, I'm fully the stay-at-home parent again. My wife is at work and I have to take care of this little guy who refuses to sleep. Yay! So yeah, making videos will involve a little bit more baby noise or babies in the background, so I hope that does not disturb people too much. Usually he's kind of quiet and he usually plays nicely by himself, but when he gets kind of tired, he needs a lot of attention, so I had to hold him almost the entire episode. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much to all my coffee supporters for supporting me. If you want to stay up to date, please subscribe, because this is a weekly series. If you want to support the channel, there will be a link to my Ko-fi page in the description below, and I'll see you all next week. Thanks for watching, and yeah, if you have something about Godot related news, or you are a creator, or you have a nice project you want to share, let me know in the comments below. Bye bye.